Hi guys, back again. Oh, already dropping cards. Okay. If you like me, subscribe, and if you want a personal, check the description for my email. Okay. Let's go. Here we go. What's going on with the collective? There's some kind of like barrier that is between you and your peace, your goals, whatever you're trying to get to, okay? Could be a manifestation, all right? Some kind of barrier. Some of you, it could be denial, okay? Just for some of you, it could be a form of denial that is keeping you from seeing things. It is definitely triggering your, foresight, your ability to see into the future. And I don't mean just magic or, psychic wise. I mean just in general. It's affecting your ability to guess what comes next when you usually can. Like, this is just for anything, like something simple like paying bills. All right, usually you know when a bill is going to hit, but it doesn't hit at that time. That's just an example, just so you understand. You're having a hard time seeing things, just like I said. All right. Some type of disappointment, some type of depression. That's kind of the barrier that is avoiding you from getting to what you want. Your peace, for a lot of you, it's your peace, whether it's inner peace, maybe you're going through some inner turmoil. Okay, something like that. Some type of emotional damage, emotional pain is putting a barrier between you and harmony, all right? Okay. Okay, I'm getting a few things off of this. Some of you, it's a lot of disappointment energy, okay? Some of you could have had a new opportunity that was supposed to come through. Or maybe some of you guys took an opportunity and you thought it was going to do more than what it was, okay? And it ended up disappointing you. Like, this could be as far as career, could be relationship. I don't think so, God forbid. Could be you were on a social media platform. Maybe you thought you were going to get more clout or more money than you are, okay? And you thought it was going to put you in Empress or Emperor energy, but I don't think it did. That's where this disappointment is coming from. So you're kind of taking a step back, all right? But you're taking a step back and resting in depression, all right? Which is not good. What's this magician? All right. So even though some of you are struggling emotionally with this disappointment, okay? You are trying to transmute the energy. You are trying to manifest something new. Some of you, like I said, you are depressed and sitting back. And then at the same time, you're putting energy into going forward, right? But because your emotions are not grounded, because you are still operating in this disappointment energy, okay? You can't seem, the only changes that are coming in are changes that are affecting you even more in a negative way, or they are causing more disappointment. All right? Because you're not balanced. If you're not balanced, you can't make balanced decisions, right? That's anyone. Some of you could be dealing with homelessness too, or maybe you got out of homelessness and I don't know, something about homelessness. What's this Ace of Swords? Okay, about the homelessness thing. I think some of you were like trying to help the homeless. Maybe this is very specific. Maybe you were like you had a non-profit organization or something like that, or maybe you're waiting for a grant to come through to help the homeless, and you weren't able to help the homeless as much, which is why you're sitting back and kind of depressed. Okay, that's just very specific for someone watching. Anyway. All right, your lack of clarity, again, your lack of clarity, your lack of emotional groundedness, okay, is causing you to delay new opportunities. Others of you, it's causing you to question yourself, all right, and because you're questioning yourself, you cannot see what's on the other side of this disappointment, all right? There's also something you don't want to face about yourself. Maybe you don't want to face this depression, or maybe you don't want to like really admit you're depressed. That's why you're constantly still trying to go hard on something and just manifesting nothing but chaos because you're operating in chaos, okay? I don't know. There's some type of miscommunication, okay? Could be miscommunication at a job, misunderstanding at a job, in a project, whatever, all right? Some of you need to this is random, right? But some of you need to learn actually when and how to actively tap into your old self. What I mean by old self, that person that can go the fuck off. That you that would dare someone to do something crazy to you, right? Because something right here happened that affected this disappointment, all right? Could be a lack of communication, a lack of understanding, okay? And some of you did not put your foot down. You did not say, fuck no, we won't go, when you should have said, fuck no, we won't go, okay? That would have prevented you from this disappointment, all right? Some of you have to understand that when it is necessary, you do have to tap into that lower self. When it's necessary. Some of you felt the nudge to before this happened, but you didn't do it. So here we are, dealing with disappointment. Yeah, definitely. Just to clarify again, whatever you thought was gonna, like I said in the beginning, there's something you were going into, you thought was gonna benefit you more, thought it was gonna affect you in a more positive way, you thought it was gonna be something that it wasn't, all right? You didn't quite look into something enough, okay? This is very specific, I feel. I don't think a lot of people are going to resonate with this, but... Okay, this is going back to right here when I said some of you need to learn that it's okay to tap into your lower self when necessary, right? There was someone around you or someone you worked with, okay, that affected this situation. They were unreliable. They lied to you, all right? You needed to leave them behind sooner than you did, or some of you never did. And so, again, here we are. Here you are, struggling to, maybe that's why some of you are struggling with inner turmoil, because you're mad at yourself because you didn't tap into your lower self energy before it was too late. Okay, you're kind of, I hear some of yourself calling yourself a bitch, a pussy, right? That's what you're calling yourself, all right? Because you didn't put your foot down, you didn't cuss this MFer out when they needed to, you didn't push them out, okay? So you're regretting not, you know, doing what you needed to do at the time. Yeah, see, inner turmoil with yourself. The Hermit came out as a fucking challenge. You are mad at yourself. You're a little bitter at yourself. Watch how you talk to yourself. You're talking down to yourself. And be careful. I've had to learn this too. Even if you're joking, all right, you're still registering it, all right? Some of you are being really harsh about what you let fall through. Some of you, this could be a marriage. You let someone take advantage of you for so long, it affected your career. I don't know. Five of Pentacles at the bottom of this deck, okay? See, right here where I said you're trying to manifest and move forward and make changes, but Eight of Swords, you cannot. Not in this defeated energy that you're in. How can you make anything progress? And you're defeating yourself. You're talking down to yourself. You're your own worst enemy right now, because you cannot let the fact that you let this broad run over you, or this cockwad run over you, okay? You cannot. You're stuck here. You're bitter at them, and you're bitter at yourself. You're bitter at yourself because, again, you didn't tap into the energy you know you could have that would have shut all this shit down. But you didn't do it. Shit. You have to be very careful, okay? Some of you could be a little bit more heightened in age. By heightened, I mean I'm 28, so I'm feeling like 35 and up for some of you, okay? Some of you could, that's not 35 and up is not really heightened, but that's what I'm hearing. Maybe you feel like it's heightened, all right? And you need to be careful that you don't get stuck in this self-defeating energy, because I see that it could affect you for a long time. Like with this Eight of Cups, I see you moving forward, carrying this energy, leaving this situation, but carrying this self-defeating energy. And look at that Three of Cups reverse right there. That's not good. You're going to continue in life. If you don't release this, if you don't release this disappointment, release this person, release whatever, whoever did this to you, whatever you let happen, whatever you let slide, you have to release it. You have to forgive yourself, because you're on the verge of carrying it with you forever. Some of y'all, this happened to you a long time ago, and you're carrying it with you now, and you're still harboring that self-defeat. Oh my gosh, that energy. Sorry, I couldn't talk. Also, make sure, there's a lot of stuff you have to make sure you don't carry from this. Make sure you don't carry. Paranoia. All right, because you are going to have more offers, more business offers. For those of you that were, the ones I said you were going to work for the homeless, you didn't get a grant, there could be another grant offer, there could be another team up, right? Don't carry this paranoia or bitterness with you and push those offers away. All right? And this is from a very specific situation that you dealt with. If you're resonating with this, you know exactly what situation I'm talking about. I don't know what situation it is, but I'm telling you, you know. Okay? Sorry, something weird happened. I don't know what that was. Anyway, got a little chaotic for a second, didn't it? All right, tell me more about this up here. Am I seeing shit? Anyway, okay. Okay, a lesson to be learned from this too. And it's just clarifying. Do not guard your lower self so much that you start letting shit like this happen. You have to know when to let the bitch out. You have to know. I think you took or dick out. I think you took so much time trying to control your anger, control your rage, control your mouth. For some of you, control your attitude, that you just kind of forgot about it. And now it's kind of almost been this habit for some of you to let people run over you, to let shit slide, to let bullshit slide, to let lies slide, and then it hits you right here, bam. It crumbled. There has to be balance with you and your shadow. It's like, I just had this discussion with this guy, right? And he told me, it was like very spiritual discussion, right? And he told me, like, you know, no matter what part of you try to get rid of, whether that's anger or sadness or whatever, this bad attitude is always going to be a part of you. That's why I always say, become one with your shadow. Those things are never going to fully go away. They're just not. I used to have horrible anger issues. They're a lot more tamed, but I know if pushed too hard, I could flip a table, punch a window out of a car, break your door with a tire iron. I don't know. I could throw my laptop at the wall and not think about it. And that part of me is still inside. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? But it's tamed. But I know when to bring her out. Oh yeah, I do. And that's what you need to learn. Don't let this happen again. Because even being too balanced, quote, quote, is off balance. Too much of anything is bad. Okay? Even though being too balanced isn't balanced. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I said too balanced. Because some of you felt like you made it, right? Oh, I'm operating in higher self now because I don't fall out with people and I don't argue and blah blah blah. Yeah, that's great, right? But you're now you're off balance by letting people do bullshit to you. Look, to be fair and chop wood. You want to know what I'm getting off of this? If it fucking calls for the bitch or the dick to come out, let it happen. That's what I'm getting that off the chop wood, right? The dick, the bitch. You know, cutting heads off. Not literally, but you know what I mean. To be fair and chop wood. If it calls for it, unleash the beast. To an extent, don't go to jail, don't kill anybody, you know? But unleash the beast. I'm not saying go punch holes in the wall and all this shit, no. But when it's time to put your fucking foot down, even in an ugly way, do it. That's what these are saying. Chaos and conflict came in reverse, and cleaning up came upright, right? But you know what I'm getting off these? You're too busy trying to keep yourself clean, and you ignore the chaos and conflicts. So by focusing on yourself, like I said, by focusing on not tapping into that lower level energy, you don't see things for what it is. You become a little gullible too. For some of you, because maybe you thought you were too paranoid, maybe you thought you were too this, too that, right? So then when you started seeing red flags, and I don't mean, you know, little red flags, you know what I'm saying, like little issues that our family or friends might have, although they can screw you too, but I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about real red flags. You let that shit slide because you thought you were too much. You thought you were whatever the fuck, right? So you don't see shit for what it is because you're too busy trying to keep yourself grounded when you're really not grounded right now. You need to be a little meaner. You need to balance that attitude you used to have. You need to balance it with who you are now. You cannot push it away because people have mistreated you. They've taken advantage of you. They've taken advantage of your kindness. They don't give back equally. They don't do anything. And you let them do it. And I feel like who I'm talking to back in the day, in your teenage years or your 20s, or even your 30s, or just back in the day, whatever you changed, oh, that shit would have never slid. It would have never slid under your nose. You would have caught it like that. But people have accused you of doing too much. Fuck that. You're nobody's yes man. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror lately? You are who you are. You cannot change that. Of course, people are going to tell you you're doing too much or you're calling out bullshit all the time. Of course they were going to tell you. Why? Because they don't want you to see theirs. How do I know that? I've been on both ends. I've been the one that's called too much, and I've been the one telling someone they're doing too much because I don't want to hear shit. So I'm telling you from both ends. People don't want to hear the truth. So they're going to say you're doing too much. They're going to say, oh, you're doing this, you're being mean, and I fuck them. And fuck me when I was that type of person. Because they're guilty. Or they're afraid you're going to see it. So now here you are, letting people run over you. Mission accomplished. Way to go. That's what they wanted. Listen, all these cards, you have to have a shift, okay? Time to go. Fork in the road. Fates. You have to find balance. There's going to be more challenges thrown at you, and it's going to affect your life. Are you going to take control? Are you going to balance yourself with the bitch and the dick that you could be? Balance, though. Don't freak out. Don't go to jail, but balance. Are you going to do that? Because you have more shit coming your way. Get out of this dreadful beat yourself down energy. Yeah, be angry at yourself, but don't fucking beat yourself down to where you're just sulking and then you're going to be 60 looking back on this same situation that I was speaking about earlier. How do you think you're going to feel when you're 70 or 80 and look back at all the people you let take advantage of you, all because you were trying to be quote, quote, balanced, but you're unbalanced right now because you're not one with your shadow. You're not one with the anger. You're not one with your attitude. So you're just out here trying to be lovey-dovey and people are shitting on you and you're cleaning it up too. I don't know. Look, higher power, loyal heart. With this higher power, I'm feeling, again, know when to bring that darkness out. And forgive yourself when you have to. Because even though it calls for it, just speaking from experience, when I used to blow up and it called for it, even though sometimes I used to blow up on things that called for it and still took it too far, it doesn't matter. Just listen. You know, no one likes to get ugly. No one likes to be mean, right? So when you have to do it, forgive yourself, but put yourself first. The main part of being balanced, right? One of the main parts is putting yourself first. Making sure you're straight. Making sure your home is straight. Your finances are straight. Making sure your life is straight, because that way, if you're straight, you can help other people. You can, you know, bring people into your home if they need, people who really need it. You know, give money, put someone onto a job, put someone onto a career, I don't know, but you have to be straight first, right? So you can't let people keep taking advantage of you. Or you'll never be able to help anyone, for those that want to help people. That's going back to that person that's doing like homelessness, reach out or whatever I was picking up earlier. That's probably for you, okay? I'm done lecturing for the day. These readings were super detailed today. Okay? I sympathize with you, I really do. As someone who has dealt with severe anger issues, like I told you, I sympathize. You don't want to ever go back. So, just, I don't know. Do what you want to do with this reading. But I hope you do the right thing. Okay, bye.